FNAF and Gmod to me is like french fries and salt. Without one, the other one kind of sucks. Okay, I'm joking. Obviously, these are two separate things, but both have very different thriving communities, but some of the most popular stuff on the Garry's Mod Workshop is FNAF content, and FNAF and Gmod have been connected for a very long time. And when it comes to FNAF maps on the Gmod Workshop, you got your classics. You got the Keithy FNAF 1 map and the Keithy FNAF 2 map. You got the classic Freddy Fazbear's Pizza with the events mode that has this thing in it. You got the original Fredbear's Family Diner map that is the smallest building ever and Bonnie can't fit on the stage. There's so many classics to pick from, but among all of the FNAF maps on Gmod, I feel like there's a bunch of them that have gone very underrated over the years. A while back, I did a video about a bunch of obscure FNAF maps on Gmod, and in this one I'm going to do something similar, but I'm mainly going to talk about ones that I find impressive. Ones that make you wonder if Valve would have cancelled Half-Life 2 if they knew in the future it would lead to Gmod FNAF RP. So, my goal for this video is to cover some of the greatest FNAF maps that I can find. So, let's go over the criteria here. Number 1, obviously, visuals. Does the map look good? Does the game translate whatever it's trying to convey well? Then, also interactivity. Are there things that move on the map? I don't know. Does it feature classic Easter eggs like Golden Freddy in the kitchen, or the guy in the window outside the pizzeria, or the bathroom stall in the Fredbear map that the game prevents you from no-clipping into, but then if you actually get a look in there, it's just a bunch of pee in the toilet? Not all the maps I'm talking about in this video are events maps, and events maps are basically, if you don't know, they're Gmod maps that feature things that move, like animatronics or NPCs or whatever. Although probably the coolest map in this entire video is an events map, and I think it's the best FNAF events map ever made, and I wanted to go in depth on it for a long time, but that's for the end of the video. Now, my favorite FNAF map will always forever be this one, but I made an entire video about that one, and I might remake that video someday, but this is kind of just for maps that are lesser known, and that map is very well known. Now, everybody talks about the original Keithy FNAF 1 map, because it's so iconic, but another FNAF 1 map from back in the day that I really enjoy is this one. But before we get into all that, the turtle plush is back and it's better and cuter than ever before. With a lower price and a compact size that's compatible with every single plushie ever created. Seriously, you should try it. It's crazy how many plushies you can put this thing next to. It has a keychain for convenience. You can put it on your bag, you could use it to dangle it around above things, you can throw it, anything. Or if you don't like the keychain, it's removable, thankfully for you. So today, for only $16, adopt your own little turtle and it'll be with you forever. And act fast, because the plush is only available for a single month. After that, it'll be gone forever. So don't miss your opportunity to own the most convenient plush ever made. And all jokes aside, thank you guys so much for your support over the years. The fact that I'm even able to do these things is always a pleasure. And I've both gotten a lot of requests to restock the original turtle and a lot of requests to make a more affordable plush, so this is my answer. I redesigned the face and I think it looks a lot nicer. And the plush is only going to be available until October 22nd, so make sure to get yours sooner rather than later, because after that point, they're going to be gone for good. There will not be any restocks. So thank you all for your support, and let's get back to the video. Published only a few short weeks after the release of FNAF 2 and a few months after the release of FNAF 1, this is a pretty early FNAF map, and there's not really a lot to say about this map because it is pretty simple, but I just enjoy the vibes. The unique posters that it features, the whole vibe of the map is definitely straying pretty far away from that Half-Life 2 grunge, which I think makes it stand out a lot at the time. This is definitely the cleanest Freddy Fazbear's Pizza I've ever seen. And just the overall proportions of the map feel very realistic and grounded. It's much more compact than the Keithy map, which is a reason why I used it at the time a lot. Now, I do have a couple complaints. I wish it had a feature to turn the lights off or a nighttime version. That would have been cool. It also doesn't really have any neat details. It is pretty much just what you see is what you get. I like the posters though. They're very charming. And the cupcake in this map is really, I don't know what his deal is, okay? I like him. Now, the next map I want to talk about is FNAF Corridors, which is actually a more recent map, only being made in July of 2024, which I guess is like a year ago, but still, compared to a lot of other maps, that's not that long ago. And this map is such a vibe. This map specifically aims to be as nostalgic feeling as possible, and I personally think it succeeds. The footage you're seeing right now is actually a prop hunt version of this map, which me and my friends had an absolute blast on. Where the fuck did it go?
What's happening?
Where the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What?
Murder! What is that? I've never been more scared in my entire fucking life.
Now, this is one of those maps that likes to combine FNAF 1, 2, and 3 together, but I think it does a pretty alright job doing so, and all the custom designed posters with the old fan models is very cool, as well as all the little posters on the wall that are just taken from older FNAF maps. There's a lot of good stuff clashing together here, and it leads to a very cool, surreal aesthetic. I will say, the map is a little bit too dingy for my liking, mainly just in the fact that it's only got this weird yellow tint to it, and I don't know, it's just not my thing. It does look good, though. A majority of the arcade machines in this map as well are completely custom designed, but perfectly match that old style using the 1/6 NIS models, and I like these a lot. These are very cool. But the map also makes sure to include some arcade machines from other FNAF maps that are more recognizable, so you got a good mix of old stuff and new stuff that's made to mimic the old style. And they do a lot of really neat stuff with the 1/6 NAS models. Probably my favorite thing is this weird, like, purple Freddy of King with the Toy Freddy head on top of it. I put this guy in the thumbnail for a reason. I think he's got good vibes. There's also a weird pile of untextured models inside, and that's kind of neat. And you got some more nostalgic fan models with these old withered golden Freddy and purple Freddy models on these FNAF 3 stands, and then you can also go into the basement where you can see some Fredbear and Spring Bonnie posters. We also have some old models. There's a lot of nice stuff here. This is right up my alley. And then if you go into the basement, there's nothing too interesting, but there is a little red bear guy here, and if you clip into the wall, you can actually see there's this weird hidden room with windows in it, and if you go through either of these doors, it teleports you to a random point in the map. Which is pretty weird, honestly. There's a lot of these weird doors in the map, and I'm not really sure what the point of them is. There's another one through this vent. There's like a hidden vent over here, and leads to more doors. I don't know. But overall, this is just a fun map with good vibes, and there's another map I want to talk about in this video that is very similar to it, so let's get straight into that one too, since I'll probably have less to say about that one, since it's so similar to this one. And the map in question is Retro Fazbears, which is coincidentally made by the same person. It's not a coincidence. And there's another map that is also quite similar to my knowledge, and I'd like to check out all three of them. This is made by Tasman Rex, that is their username, and hey, I like your maps a lot. I hope you know this, and I'm going to talk about the other two now. This is the type of stuff that I live for, and I installed all three of these maps without even realizing they were made by the same person, so I think that's pretty funny. I honestly just assumed they were all trying to copy each other. Also, something I want to mention here, in the map here, there's this unwithered Bonnie little standee thing, as well as the old withered Chica model, and a different Toy Chica model right next to another to the 1/6 NAS Toy Chica model, so I just think that's a funny detail that I forgot to bring up, so I'm bringing it up now. Now, loading in the Retro Fazbears, it's immediately obvious that this map in layout and design is extremely similar to the previous one, although with a much heavier emphasis on FNAF 2. With the theming of the building primarily being about the toy animatronics and the FNAF 2 map. And I think aesthetically, this map is probably a bit stronger than the first one. It doesn't have as many funny details in my opinion, but it does have a lot better, like, I guess, it's more uniform, I guess is the right word. It does have some interesting rooms. Like, I like this office room here that has a very unique look to it, that's like very different from the rest of the building. Mango gets her own stage in Kid's Cove, but it says to not use any flash photography on him, so I thought something funny would happen if I took a picture, but no, nothing happens. It's just nothing. I really enjoy the look of this parts and service room. It's very cool. Very nice wall texture. And then there's this weird, creepy closet with different fan models and this weird Freddy poster in it, and I got awful vibes walking in here. This freaked me out. There's also this basement you can walk into and you can find, what the, Candy the cat? Candy the cat? And then also in the basement you can find these posters that feature some kind of toy Foxy in place of Funtime Foxy, and that is very interesting. I guess that implies in whatever lore this map has that there used to be a regular Foxy with the toy animatronic, so yeah, that's interesting. Here right outside the office, there's a little picture here with a turtle on the FNAF 1 table with a never forget message, and if you don't know what this means, in the original version of the Keithy FNAF 1 map, before there were party hats on the table, there was actually a little turtle plushie, and that ended up dying, so yeah, rest in peace. There's a back room in the office with a bunch of posters, as well as Employee of the Month things similar to the Keithy map, and it features one person, Rico16 Rico, who's the only one I recognize, and they are a very cool artist, so shout out to them. Like, seriously, look at this. This is raw. This is raw as hell. This was like my personality in 2015. Now, an exclusive thing about this map that the previous map did not have is that it has an exterior, and it looks pretty nice. You don't see exteriors too often on FNAF maps, although most of the ones I'm talking about in this video actually do have exteriors. And I think the outside looks pretty good. Just don't go too far to the one side. Just go over there.
Hold up.
Alright, so GM Classic Freddy's is definitely the smallest map of this group, but it's also probably my favorite, because this map, I don't know how to describe it. You probably just have to play it yourself to know how this is, but like, this map is menacing. I don't know why, but this map in particular was very unnerving to me, and I can't really explain why. It just has bad vibes, and I mean that in a very good way. I think a big part of why this is so unnerving to me is that it uses probably the scariest ambience in the whole series to me, which is Cold Presence from FNAF 1. Do we agree on this? This is a scary ambient track. Like, I don't like it. There's so many weird details. Like, there's a detail where, like, you can twist the lid on the puppet's box, but you can't actually open it. What the hell is this? What's up with that? That's weird. The ambience of the map paired with the heavy use of Half-Life 2 textures that don't really fit in with how the map is, like, designed is very unnerving. I feel like if you put events and jump scares on a map like this, I would be actually terrified of it. This is like, I don't know. This map is just menacing. And it doesn't help that, like, there's so many weird locked doors and stuff. Like, there's a safe room in the map, but you can't go in it. But when you do clip into it, it's just an empty room that's really small with no door. And I don't know why, but that freaks me out. Maybe it doesn't help that it's 4 AM while I'm recording this, but yeah, this was not very pleasant. But again, I want to preface, I mean that in a great way. This is scary and it feels like it's intending to be. I walked into the backstage and I was expecting to just be going further into the basement, but there was an elevator on the side as well with sister location stuff on it. Which is really weird, because I thought this was a classic Fazbear's, but you can go down the elevator and it plays the music from Sister Location, and then the actual Sister Location basement area is pitch black darkness, and it's so freaky. Like, I was so convinced this map was gonna throw some screamer at me and I was gonna jump out of my chair. It didn't actually happen, but I was fully prepared for it, because it felt like it was setting you up. It's exactly like the elevator in the basement on the Gmod 711 map, if you know what that is. It is exactly the same feeling as that, and I have not recaptured that feeling since the first time I booted up that map when I was a little kid, so that is a very good thing to recapture. And the sister location facility is very freaky. It's like this weird abandoned cafeteria looking place, and there's a bunch of chairs and it's all abandoned, and I don't know. Very, very freaky setup. Source Engine darkrooms like this are so freaky to me, and I wasn't expecting to find one like this on this map, so yeah, this is a very, I was a little freaked out. I might have been looking behind me a little bit. You got a manager's office in this map that is very similar to the one that was in the previous map, but then also there's an exterior of the building and it's so dark out here. And again, like, source maps that are pitch black freak me out. I don't like them. So, bravo, Tasman Rex, you are a great map creator. I look forward to seeing what you release in the future. I was not expecting to be so off-put by this map. So the next map I want to cover is Fazbear's Forgotten, which is such a huge, impressive map, and it's made by StubAt, if that's how you say that, and this person has a very extensive catalog of very large, detailed Garry's Mod maps. And this FNAF one is absolutely one of the most impressive FNAF maps I've ever seen in terms of scale. This pizzeria is absurd. Alright, so this map is so, like, unbelievably large and extensive. Like, look at this. This is insane. I have never seen a FNAF map that goes this far, so I figured it'd probably be easier to just, like, record myself going through the map, because I would miss so many things if I did it any other way, so let's just get into this like this, because I feel like this is the best way. Let's do it in real time. There's actually 3 entrances to the building, which I think is really interesting. I've never really seen anything do that before, but you could sneak in through either of these vents on the side, or you could go in through the front door. Now, for sake of simplicity, I'm going in through the front door. You got this nice entrance area with this Freddy cutout here, which features withered Freddy, and he's actually withered, so that's kind of weird, honestly. There's a bunch of computers and stuff, and there's nothing really too exciting in here, but just lots of detail. This is a very professionally made looking map, especially looking at like this little lobby area. You got like wires going around and everything. There's so much amazing detail here, and you can see there's these light switches in most of the rooms, and when you flip them, this map looks absolutely fantastic in the dark. Like, that just looks cool, especially with the light from the vending machine. This is so well done, and I don't know. There's just something so impressive about how big this map is and how nice it still looks. The main dining area is absolutely huge. Got these generic Half-Life 2 chairs, but it's not a big deal. And then you walk up here. This is where the stage is supposed to be. You can definitely tell this place is abandoned, not very tidy. But you can open up this back room, and this is actually where the first secret entrance to the building is on the outside. And there's a lot of places to go. Like, there's an elevator that doesn't exist. There's a side room here that leads to a basement, which we will get to the basement. But this map, I'd recommend just, like, install this and go explore it, because it is so worth it. You can turn off the lights in here, and that's scary. That is so the pillars and stuff makes the darkness look so cool. Like, in the lighting over here, like, there's so much. This is great. Like, I can't even, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm glazing a little bit, but come on. We can go into this hallway here, which features this back room here with the kitchen, and this is the second secret entrance there. And this door also leads into the basement. The basement is quite big to my knowledge. You got a blown out wall here in the kitchen. This would be very fun to have like gun matches in, I feel like. Here we kind of lead into a different style of pizzeria. It's like, this looks like one building, this is like another building. And then you got the security office here, which is very large, but it's clearly FNAF 1 base. Got this funny fan-made FNAF 1 poster. But, yeah, you got these old plushie models mixed with this new cupcake model, and it's kind of jarring, but yeah. Office here, it does have working doors. And they have windows on the door, which I think is a cool design feature. And they're actually timed rather than having a power system, which is interesting. I'm not really sure what the purpose of that is, but it is a thing. But I guess we'll just continue on over here. We got a bunch of little snack rack things in the storage room. And we can walk through this door. And there are lots of, like, there's a basement passage. There's so many doors. This map is, like, overwhelmingly huge. I've said this like a million times, but, like, look, we're in a whole other building now. What the hell? What's going on? Serving alcohol at Freddy's. What are they doing? I decided to go back a little bit. Roxy plush. Just, like, random stuff mixed in from, like, every FNAF thing ever. It's so interesting. If we go back over here, I didn't even go over here. Look, just immediate passage with, like, a broken door right into this. With different light switches for some reason, and this is just a giant warehouse thing for some reason. Just, this map feels like they just kept adding on to it. It's like the Pizzaplex if it made less sense somehow. I feel like I've seen these before. I'm not exactly sure what map they're pulled from, but I've definitely seen them. They're from some FNAF 3 map, I know that, but got like security breach arcade machines right next to like this FNAF 3 arcade machines, and it's just a very interesting contrast. We got a gate here, which is another entrance to the building. We see got a playground out here, and a convenience store with, like, these little things, and it's got, what? And then another, this is the old cupcake. We saw the new cupcake earlier. Got destructible computers, awesome. Always love to see those in a Gmod map. We want to get back over here, because big FNAF 2 style dining room, and this is a much better stage than the other stage we saw. The other stage was like completely unfinished. This one looks pretty much ready to go. You got a light switch for the room here. Is that... No, that plays music. A little cart thing over here with a Glamrock Chica plush hidden in the corner. There's so much, like, why are there security breach plushies just, like, in here? And then, look at this. All the Glamrocks with Glamrock Bonnie, like, from when Glamrock Bonnie was still here, so there's no Monty. That's interesting. That's an interesting detail to have. We got Pirate's Cove here, right next to a vending machine with the crustiest chips you've ever seen. This map just doesn't seem to really care about consistency, but that's cool. Like, I like that a lot. It's so interesting to explore this place. Got all these computers, gotta break all of them. It's just tradition. The security office here is pretty cool. It has vents on the side. Do these open? They do open. Okay, so one openable vent in this office. Only one, though. And I wonder if we could crawl up there using... Get out of here, chair. Is this possible to crawl up here using... Yes, it is. Okay, so we can get into this vent here. And, like, look at this. They actually modeled an actual vent interior, and it's not just a straight passage. I never see stuff do that. We got the kitchen of the FNAF 2 area that I didn't even know existed because I missed it before. It's a complete maze. Complete maze. And another passage to the basement. I really am curious to see what's in that basement there. We got more passageways in the middle of the vents, which is always cool to see. I'm gonna head out of that vent because I want to get back to the on track. Nice orange vending machine to give some nice color to the room. Very cool. If I turn off the lights in here. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Okay. Got this area that says Vintage Pizza, and it leads to another pizzeria. Like, it's so crazy how, like, you could be in one room in this map, and then you could turn around and you look like you're in a completely different building. That's always a cool effect. It says Vintage Pizza instead of Vintage Pizzeria, though. That's kind of funny to me. And, like, I don't even know... This isn't based on an actual FNAF game. It kind of looks like Murray's Costume Manor, but I know this map came out before Secret of the Mimic. But we got, like, FNAF 6 stages here. Interestingly, there's tables and chairs that are, like, actual FNAF models. Even though earlier in the map, we saw, like, ones that were just Half-Life 2 assets. So, like... There's such a weird contrast here. We got that classic model. We got that, like, little back room, some FNAF 3 stuff. There's so much to see. There's another one of those. Okay. Why can you individually open... There's so many ways you could use this map, I feel like. Come on. Why is that a thing? I got this security office over here, which, has doors, which are very large. Very, very large doors. You can turn off the lights in here. It's very scary. Chica there in a little Roxy portrait from Security Breach. I always like that Chica plush model. I know that's not from this map, but, like, that's just kind of funny looking. Why is the bib shaped like that? We got some music playing here. Interesting. We got an old carousel, and we can open up this door, and it's a weird little office. So destructible computers, which I love. I said this before. I guess it's time to actually venture into the basement that I've never actually seen before. So back here, nothing really interesting, but let's see what this basement is all about. Okay, so looks about as expected. Got some... The vending machines to give, like, color is so cool. It is funny, though. That's, like, green Pepsi. Is that a thing? Is there green Pepsi? What the hell is Pepsi True out there? All the details on the ground with, like, the cords and stuff, with, like, the batteries, like... I wouldn't even think to add those ever if I was making this, so that's just cool to see. What does this vent lead to? What could this possibly lead to? Let's check this out. And... Whoa! Okay... What is this? I don't even know what I'm doing. Where am I? Over here, and it leads to a different part of the basement. Do these open? Okay, they should open. It's weird, because they actually do have stuff on the other side. Oh, I guess this one doesn't open because there's stuff blocking it, but you can see here, old arcade machines. That is a cool model. Again, don't know where this is from, but that's a really cool looking model. I like that. And there's two separate vents in this room. Like, you got this vent, which leads to the other storage unit, and you can see a Moon plush in here, and another one, at least the next storage unit, and this one is just open. And then another one, at least the next storage unit, and this one's full of FNAF 3 bobbleheads. It's got the Puppets box, which is empty. Just so much stuff going on. We got Security Breach magazine, we got a locker to hide in. I don't even know why you'd need a locker to hide in this room in particular. Like, alright, so back out of those storage units, we got this room with some FNAF 3 stuff, and it seems like this basement is kind of just trying to look like a storage area. It's just kind of this whole map looks like a storage area, but okay. Basement just keeps getting bigger. What am I looking for? More loop around. We got a little employee break room, it seems. The vent up there that leads to a different room. And this looks like Sinister Turmoil type stuff. Oh, is that a generator for the whole building? That's cool. I don't know. I have no idea. It leads up into a closet here, which is just in the basement. Okay, just random closet. Holy, there's so... I think I've kind of covered most of it, though. Like, is there any more basement I'm missing? What is this? What is this room? This is the scariest office I've ever seen. What? Okay, so we got, like, a secret bunker. We got old books. We got sister location blueprints, blood everywhere. What is that blueprint? What am I looking at here? What's going on? Abomination... What? Okay, well that's some stuff I'm not too sure about. We'll have to get back to you on that one. You got some tally marks and a bloody handprint, you know. And then you got some help wanted assets, which are not props, sadly. But this door is completely locked. But if I clip on the other side of it, it appears to just be a room. Go back here. It's sealed behind this. Wait, can you break this wall? Please tell me you can break this wall. Please tell me it's possible. Yeah, that's so cool! That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. You can actually break down the wall for the safe room that Afton was sealed inside. So I'm sure you guys can understand now why I said that is one of the most impressive Garry's Mod FNAF maps I think I've ever seen. Just so expansive and huge. There could literally be like 5 different FNAF games going on at the same time in this map. The amount of rooms and passageways and themes and things on display here is so cool, and this is easily one of the best FNAF maps ever made on Gmod. Maybe even one of the best FNAF maps ever made, period. I mean, like, this is really, really impressive. And I also want to give an honorable mention to this map called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place Interior Only, which was made by Maz, and this is one of my absolute favorite Garry's Mod FNAF maps, I think. I don't have too much to say about it, since it is pretty much just an accurate, faithful recreation of the FNAF movie Pizzeria within the source engine, but this is still such a cool map, and the amount of physics objects in it make it perfect for prop hunt, and I've had a ton of amazing prop hunt matches with friends on this map. If you have a group of friends to do it with, boot up prop hunt on this map. It will be so much fun. I love this map. And this map also helps me appreciate the actual FNAF movie Pizzeria a lot more. There's a lot of fun to be had running around the layout of this building.
It says,
Enjoy it.
It says this. Prop by AMT, my Garry's Mod server.
Hey, just click and then select.
You gotta join a side.
Oh.
Stop following me! I don't like it!
I don't like it!
I just saw it.
Why am I stuck in? I'm stuck in the doorway.
Anything
I did not
can
just
happen
lose you because
now.
I got stuck in the fucking door. That was bullshit.
Oh, I guess I'm spectating.
I was following you for like a minute on end.
Dude, how did you actually? Dude, that was really funny to witness. I'm spectating Avery right now.
Why was I stuck in the fucking?
That's what they say before it happens.
This map is a lot more fair for prop hunt because there's a lot less props in it.
Avery, I just turned off the respirator that's been keeping me alive for 10 years. I hope you know that.
That's cool.
You're in the iron lung.
But,
Okay, turn around.
alright.
Phil LaBrave is unfair. Kane Carter's in there.
I gotta.
What am I?
I'm literally just trapped in one of the back rooms I just left.
It's always a trash can! It's always a trash can! I'm shooting up Freddy's. Joe, I have a trash can!
You shook a wall.
Why would I ever want to be a chair?
Holy, there's a fucking. I thought this was a. Die! Die!
Did they get you?
I was in the hockey table, but I was another hockey table.
No, I saw it. I saw it from really.
I walked past that. Anyway, I don't want to sit here forever, and we got a lot to say about this next map. So, without further ado, let's get into the final map of the video: Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Remake. This map was saved for last because it's truly one of the best FNAF recreations I've ever seen. In fact, I'd go as far to say this is the best free roam FNAF 1 recreation of all time. I think I have not seen a single FNAF 1 recreation that both matches the vibes of the original game, actually adds more functionality than the original, and also allows free roam that doesn't break the gameplay of the original game. Now, before we actually talk about the functionality of this map, I do want to appreciate the actual visuals of it and all the extra details it adds to the FNAF 1 pizzeria. It has a fully detailed exterior as well as extra rooms that seem very inspired by how the movie Pizzeria was handled, and I like incorporating all of these elements into the building. There's a front desk area that's clearly very inspired by the original Keithy map, and right beyond that, there's a door that leads to a manager's office, which was not present in the original map, and this is just a fun detail because it gives the building a reason to have more windows on the front and make it look more natural. Also, a piece of world building I really like is this evacuation plan on the wall. I just never really thought about that, but that's an interesting thing to have on the wall at a Freddy's. There's also this little storage room between the two hallways in the dining area, and this is such a neat little detail because even though the storage room doesn't really do anything or serve any function, the fact that it's here just shows how much they really wanted to make this building feel more real. Because, yeah, in the original map there is a giant gap there. That's kind of weird. Now, the one inaccurate thing about this map is that it does choose to use the Help Wanted FNAF 1 models, which, honestly, I'm not against. I get they're not as aesthetically pleasing as the originals, but they're more well optimized and they already have a set of animations to use that are completely official, so I think it makes perfect sense to use these here. There's a little extras room right outside the pizzeria, and if you clip inside of here, it gives you a bunch of options like fast nights and stuff from the remaster version of the game, as well as custom night, just like selecting nights, stuff like that. Very, very useful in here. Now, funnily enough, I think gameplay-wise, this map is actually more faithful to FNAF 1 than the Help Wanted recreation is. Which isn't any shade to Help Wanted, but that game definitely changes some of FNAF 1's mechanics, and this game tries not to. First major thing is that you can actually turn off the cameras, and using the cameras actually does drain your power, because when you get too close to the monitor, it'll turn the cameras on and you can select them, and you have to back up to turn them off. That is such an easy way to do it, and I think it's great. The camera system is really great. The positions of the animatronics on the cameras isn't entirely accurate, but it's still good, I think. And the ability to actually see the animatronics walking on the cameras is such a cool feature, and it works pretty flawlessly, some weird animation glitches aside. Now, there is some inherent goofiness from being able to see the animatronics walking around, and they're not really trying to chase you, they're just trying to get to your office, but I think it still holds a lot of tension because your office is what you need to protect. If anybody gets inside your office, you're dead. And you gotta admit, it's always at least a little cool seeing them walk up to the door. Come on. Now, one of my favorite changes from Help Wanted was that they actually made it so Freddy could show up at your door, which isn't present in this mod, which I expect since it's trying to be more faithful gameplay-wise, but having to just have the door closed the entire time Freddy's in the hallway corner is always a little bit annoying. Although it does have in-engine jump scares, which is the coolest thing ever, I think. They're not just like overlay GIFs that pop up on your screen. The animatronics do start doing this really funny thing on later nights where they start running really quickly, and the animation looks really funny because it's just their walk cycle sped up. I get it because they need to move faster, but it's just funny to look at. Also, I did forget to mention, but the process of starting a night is exactly like the original map where you have to turn off the generator, then run to your office, and that's just so fun to keep. So now, I looked in this map's files, and there's actually some interesting models in here that I don't actually see in the map normally. We got a golden Freddy and a purple Freddy, as well as Springtrap and the puppet. Now, I have no idea how to access these characters, and I want to discuss the final question of the video. In this map, there is a safe room which is hidden behind a wall. Now, I have no idea what the actual in-game way to remove this wall is. I beat like every night and nothing happened, so I deleted the wall manually because I don't know what else to do. And if you try going in the room, you just get teleported back to your office. It's just like this bathroom stall with the piss in it from earlier. So in order to bypass the teleporting thing, I needed to stick a camera inside of the room, and when that is done, I can clearly see Springtrap is in the room, in the safe room, and I have no idea if he can even activate or if that's even part of the map, but he is there. And I want to say this is just an Easter egg, but considering the game actively tries to make it so I can't see it, it makes me think this is something that's supposed to be scripted to happen, but I have no idea how to make it happen. But Springtrap is tucked away in this map, and it's the terrible Help Wanted model, but you know, that's neither here nor there. And even more mysteriously, I can't even find the puppet. I don't even know if the puppet can load into this map, because I couldn't find the puppet anywhere on this entire map. So I don't know, maybe I'm missing something about this map, but I feel like there's gotta be something to do with the puppet and Springtrap that I'm missing. Springtrap can't just be there, and he's like tucked away and hidden from the player. Just because they felt like it, surely, right? Like, the Keithy FNAF 1 map had a way to look at Golden Freddy through the vent. It's not like you couldn't know he was there without clipping. It doesn't really take away from the map. I mean, the Easter eggs aren't really a necessary part. The core gameplay here is perfectly functional, and it works really, really well, so there's not really much to complain about. I'm just confused. But all in all, I felt like this was a pretty good map to end off the video on. Ended on a very positive note, although I feel like this whole video was pretty positive. I like all the maps that were featured in this video, obviously. And let me know in the comments what are some of your favorite FNAF Gmod maps. And get the new plushie, it's out right now. It's only available for 1 month. I really wanted to make something more affordable, and I know I always say this, but your support means the world to me, and I'm so happy that I'm allowed to do these things. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.